The truth is, you can get way more for way less this way. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope your 2021 has gotten off to a good start. My birthday is on January 13th, so I always start the year getting ready to celebrate my birthday. And for this year, I thought I'd go ahead and just buy myself a ton of games that I've been wanting for some time. These 16 games came in the mail today from Japan. I ordered them from an eBay seller who's based in Japan. I've ordered games from them several times and I've always been very happy. This lot in particular cost me about $70. I think it was like $71.82 or something, and that was about $50 for the games and a little over $20 to get them shipped over through FedEx International. I'm not sure if it's FedEx International Express or something like that, but either way, I ordered these 4 days ago and they already got here, so I was not expecting them for another week or so. I've been waiting patiently all day to record this and open these with you. Jake took them out of the shipping box this morning for me because the cardboard was all soaking wet from the melting snow outside, but I think everything is going to be okay. However, before we jump in, I wanted to take a quick moment to chat about why I buy games from Japan. Of course, to some people, there's a very obvious downfall with buying games from Japan, and that is the games that I'm buying are in Japanese. I do speak a tiny bit of Japanese. I was very fortunate to get to study abroad in Japan between my junior and senior years of college, and that was back in 2015. It's been a while. However, I did the dumb thing of not practicing my Japanese very much when I got home, and I've forgotten so much. It breaks my heart. I try to practice all the time, but I'm just not quite there yet. So even though my Japanese is horrible, I can still navigate these games for the most part, which is why to me, the language barrier isn't a big deal. The main reason I buy Japanese versions of retro and older games is because they are way cheaper than the North American version. For example, last year I unboxed a Spice Orange GameCube from Japan that I had been wanting for so long. The reason why I actually bought that GameCube was because I wanted the Game Boy Advance player. So follow my logic here. When I was shopping for this, I didn't own a GameCube. I had just been playing GameCube games on my Nintendo Wii. So I was starting from nothing, essentially. To buy the United States Game Boy Player disc only, they typically sell on eBay between $70 and $100. That's just for the disc. That does not include the Game Boy Player attachment itself. It does not include the GameCube. It doesn't include the cords. It's just the disc. Now, in Japan, I was able to buy the Orange Spice GameCube complete with Game Boy Player and disc with the controller, all the cords, and get it shipped over here for like $60. It's way cheaper. It's absolutely insane. I'll point out some of the specifics once I get opening this up, but there are a couple games in here that would run $30, $40, $50 if I was searching for the North American version, but the Japanese version only costs $2 or $3. In preparation for this video, I did a little digging around on the internet to try to figure out why this is. I first noticed this phenomenon when I was studying abroad in Japan. There was a little mall just south of my school. I'd take the train and go visit there on the weekends, and there was this big electronics store, and they had tons of used games, and they would have like the Pokemon Game Boy Advance and DS games that cost, some of them I think even go, $80, $100 now in the United States. They'd have them for only like 10 or 20. The tiny bit of research I did online suggested a couple different things for why this happens. One of the big reasons people kept saying is Japanese homes are typically much smaller than homes in the United States, and that Japanese families might not have room for big collections, therefore they get rid of their games more often than we do. I'm not 100% sure if I agree with this, just because I know a lot of people from Japan who collect. Yes, their houses are typically smaller, but games are they're not big. They're typically quite small. So you could reasonably have a large video game collection in a small space. Another theory suggested that because people in Japan, and Japan as a country in general, are more focused on recycling, that small games like this probably don't get thrown away. Now, I've had this theory in my head for a while regarding Tamagotchi, that in the United States, I think a lot of families just threw Tamagotchi away when they got broken or the batteries died because they're so small. They never thought to save something like that or donate it to a charity shop. And I'm guessing it's possibly the same for small games like Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. You know, if it were to get cracked or for some reason if it didn't turn on, or save, if the save battery died, maybe they just threw it away. Whereas in Japan, just being their culture is more geared toward recycling than ours is, they might have thought more to donate it to a recycle store that does recycling of broken cartridges or something like that. Either way, the supply and demand for Japanese language games versus English language games is just crazy difference. So that's why I do buy games from Japan. It's just so much cheaper, and in most cases, not all cases, you get the same game. Anyways, enough rambling from me for now. Let's go ahead and open these up so I can show you what I got. So there is actually one more thing I wanted to mention before we open these up. I'm so sorry. And that is that eBay right now is just swamped with reproduction and counterfeit game cartridges. So if you are someone that's watching this video right now because you want to get into buying games on eBay, just be very, very, very careful. As I mentioned earlier, the seller who I purchased these from on eBay, I've purchased from them several times, and I feel like I personally trust them. However, I'm not saying their name because that's a judgment that every buyer needs to make for themselves based off the eBay listing as well as the seller's profile. Okay, without further ado, let's open something up. So, first and foremost, we have a couple of Game Boy Advance games here. And these two should actually be the same. So these are Mario Party Advance, and this game has a small multiplayer portion, and I wanted to make sure I got 2 Japanese copies of them so they could communicate together, and these were like $1 each. This right here looks like it is the GameCube game that I bought. I just purchased one GameCube game for this order. Here we have Mario Party 6. Now this is unfortunately not complete, but I knew that when I ordered it. The Japanese GameCube games come with a slipcover that makes the box look nice and fancy. However, I scored this for, I think it was $4.50, somewhere around that. And all these are tested and claim to power on, but any games that might have saved batteries, the batteries aren't tested. Anyways, Mario Party 6 is my brother's favorite Mario Party game, but it is not cheap to buy the North American version. And we'll move these 64 ones off to the side. All of those are 64 games. And these two are actually for systems that I don't have. And so you can already see they're a little grimy, or as some collectors might say, they're TLC. These game cartridges are for the Super Famicom, or more properly pronounced Super Famicom, which is the Japanese Super Nintendo. Each of these were only $1. This is Puyo Puyo, which is a puzzle game, and this is the iconic Mario Paint. I currently don't own a Super Nintendo, but that is one of the systems that I'd like to branch out into next. However, I haven't decided if I want to go in the direction of the Super Famicom or if I want to go in the direction of the North American system. So I just thought, I might as well grab them while I'm buying a bunch of games from this seller. Okay, now what I'm really excited for. So this whole purchase was inspired by the fact that I've been wanting some more 64 games. I purchased a Japanese Nintendo 64, gosh, I think it was in March of last year. And I haven't gotten around to, 1, modding it, which I've been meaning to do, and 2, I haven't gotten around to buying any more 64 games. So today was the day. First and foremost, this single one here. Mario Party 2, and now I gotta crack open this giant brick of games. First we have Mario Party 3 to go with our Mario Party 2. Kirby 64. I've actually never played this game before, and I'm very excited to. It looks absolutely adorable. Oh, we've got a little corrosion on that screw there. But hey, you Pikachu! I don't have a microphone for this yet, but again, it was just that situation, you know, as long as I'm buying from this one seller, I might as well just add a few games that I'm not yet ready to play. And this one I just had to look up the title of it because I couldn't remember it or read it. So Mickey Racing, and then this last word right here is challenge. So Mickey Racing Challenge USA. Again, another game that I haven't played, but it is Disney, so I had to grab it. Puyo Puyo Sun, which is I think the second Puyo Puyo game that was made. Oh, another Disney one. So it's Magical Tetris Challenge, that same word that I just looked up here, and then featuring Mickey. And of course, the first Mario Party to complete our Mario trilogy here. Sorry, my phone's going off. Donkey Kong 64. I cannot think of, gosh, I have so many games that are nostalgic, but Donkey Kong 64 just hits a certain nostalgic chord with me. Okay, down to the last two. Diddy Kong's Racing, another one, gosh, from my childhood that I just absolutely adore. And lastly, but certainly not least, Yoshi's Story. When people ask me what my favorite Nintendo 64 game is, this one usually comes up somewhere in that conversation. Definitely got a lot of great games here today, and I'm so excited to try them all out. If there's a certain game you'd like to see me play on this channel, or if there's something specific about one of these games that you would like to see, please let me know in the comments below. I'm hoping to play all of these games on this channel at some point in time, but again, some of these I'm just not quite ready to play yet. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss when I play these games or when I unbox more games from Japan. You can also find me on Instagram, Discord, and other social media. The links are in the description box below. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope your 2021 continues to be wonderful, awesome, and safe, and I will see you in my next video.